Is Mexico facing its own dirty war? Last week, I was talking about Latin America facing its past. Are we seeing a repeat now in Mexico? Is Mexico having its own dirty war? And in the past 25 years, this drug war has taken a huge toll on the Mexico society and people across both sides of the border. In 2014, 43 students mysteriously disappeared on the way to a protest in Mexico City. The allegation since then has been that there were certain government forces that intercepted the bus due to political reasons, some with the cartel, drug smuggling that had nothing to do with the students. There were some local allegations the governor of Guerrero and the local area may have been involved. That was one of the first, what I heard in 2014, of the missing students that have convinced me that a dirty war is going on in Mexico. And now comes word that of Rancho Izaguirre. I did not hear this in the U.S. media, but it has to be published in the U.S. media. What is Rancho Izaguirre? Well, you might as well say it was a concentration camp in Jalisco. Apparently, this camp was there are three what turns out to be crematoriums on the bottom, in ground level crematorium, in which people were killed and burned, their bodies disposed of in these crematorium. In 2025, civic groups looking for missing people entered this area after complaints that this location was being used to hide murdered victims. And what was found was shocking. Of course, I didn't hear it in the American media or Western media. I found it by chance. Apparently, there were bones, hundreds of shoes, bones all over on the ground. In fact, some have actually compared it to Auschwitz or one of the concentration camps, but not on the greater level. But if this is true, the situation in Mexico is becoming more critical. And this also leaves me several questions. Is there other facilities like this being operated in Mexico? Where is this leading Mexico? Everyone has to be concerned about Mexico, obviously for the people in the United States because we border it, and many people up here, American citizens, have relatives in Mexico. Mexico has a rich history, but also a very violent one. Of course, the U.S. also has ties to that, both good and bad, to that country. My question also is the Mexican government able to control it? And obviously, after hearing about Rancho Izaguirre, I'm beginning to doubt that they have control of the situation. This is the first part I will talk about the crisis in Mexico, but I suggest people get more informed about what is happening, particularly with this Rancho Izaguirre. It's a very shocking story.